a question. Does this new Alien movie make life better, right? Is it a worthy addition to the Alien franchise? And that's a bit of a tough question, if you know what we say. It is a bit of a tough question. There's a lot, like many things you review in 2024, there's a lot about it that's very, very good, right? There's a lot about it that's excellent. There's a lot that, and it just goes off the rails. And I think I can see where the problem is. So look, the problem really is that the script writers today are not very good at writing scripts, right? They're not very good at telling stories. This feels okay. Let me back that up for a second. The premise and the setup for this, I thought, were the first half hour in general. I thought were pretty darn excellent, right? I thought it was really, really, really good. And then it turned into very formulaic kind of alien karaoke, but it was still genuinely quite enjoyable. There's a couple of things in it that was just annoyingly stupid and just fan servicey. It seems to me that who wrote the script to this? It was written by Fred Alvarez and Rod Sayegers. So it feels more like a game, and it feels like a good game. It feels like a very good Alien game. I will put it, on a level with Alien Isolation, which I thought was excellent, right, and really leaned into the DNA. But it wasn't a story so much. It was more like obstacle to get round, obstacle to get round, obstacle to get round, right? It wasn't really a story. The story of it went on for like the first 30 minutes, and then it kind of again slipped into alien karaoke for the last hour and a half, and had some incredibly cringe, bad creative decisions the longer it went on, right? So that's how I would describe it. What it really felt like was something like a high-quality Alien experience, right? Go ahead. 1 second. Let me see if I can find there must have been an advert for this. It was the Aliens Experience at the Trocadero, Experience London. There must be a trailer for it. This is Alien War. There's this one. Alien War at the Trocadero. I think it was before Alien War. I went to the one beforehand. I mean, maybe it's all Alien War. I don't know. Yeah, let me find a trailer of it. Okay, so this was a live experience you could go to here. 1 second, let me download over here. So the Trocadero apparently isn't there anymore again. Look, Sadiq Khan's London is shockingly awful in so many ways. There's that one. That's it. Right, there we go. Is it downloading? Yeah. Oh, this one's high quality. Fine. So it reminds me very much of like a really high class Alien experience. Like it's kind of like what they were trying to do with Galactic Star Cruiser. That's closed down, is it? And from what I heard, is they're dismantling the Star Wars land at Disney. How'd you fuck that up? Like how'd you fuck that? It's beyond that. It's beyond me how they did that. Like you look at it, you go, how on earth did you do that? It's breathtaking. Oh, here it is. One second, let me just show this. Disney to him. It's so sad as well because, man, now this frozen. There we go. Share screen. Doink. It's so sad. Disney's dismantled Star Wars Galaxy Edge in United States parks. And I was so excited. I was like, when I first heard the idea of Galaxy's Edge, I'm like, I've got to work out a way of getting there. I got to get there. And now I'm glad I didn't, right? Exactly. I mean, like, look at this. All these resources just completely wasted. It really is crushing, like, how much they screwed up. But, yeah, so the Galactic Star Cruiser was a insanely expensive hotel where you got to live-action role play that you're in Star Wars. So this feels like the same sort of thing, but with aliens. right? It feels like a script for a really good live-action alien experience. Oh, speaking of which, let me pull up the one that I went to from the 80s, maybe early 90s. Clip 1 of 7. Well, SP, do you remember that? Okay, kids, back in the dawn of time, the early midst of time, we had videotape, right? Videotape. You could get a 60-minute, a T1, a T60, T120, T180, or T240, right? How many? It was like it was a 4-hour tape. But then you had SP and LP mode, right? LP would turn a 4-hour tape into an 8-hour tape, right? That's what would happen.
Of London, right underneath Piccadilly Circus, lurks something evil, something deadly, something.
Yeah, and there's the thing: when they show you video of it, it looks kind of shit because it's not cinema quality, right? But it was so much fun to be there.
Incredibly popular.
Essentially, what it must have been a tiny space, right? That they decked up to look like an alien's environment, and you go in, and they got the Space Marines there, the Clone Marines, and like we're gonna be touring a xenomorph facility. They're all had American accents, and then again, it was really great that you go out. He said, "I'm going to do you clearances." And then when he goes out the room, the door closes, and suddenly the light goes off, and suddenly this red light lights up the room. And it feels like you're in Aliens, right? He comes in, he said, "They've broken out, we got to get out." He takes you running up and down corridors, right? And then occasionally you meet an alien, and he's like fires his pulse rifle, and it's insane. It was like being in it, right? And that's what this movie is like. Let's look at this. The great thing about Alien is the alien world is it's designed to be made cheaply, which it really did.
Move it!
Gary, it's an extraordinary ride, or if you can call it that. How did it come about?
I actually do believe it came from a nightmare.
Let me just look at the
family and everybody were running down corridors and they were chasing after us, and I thought, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was. So that's what this movie's like, a script from that. So the first half hour, again, I thought was really solid. With really good characters, I was genuinely interested. As kind of like is often in alien movies, the best character is a synthetic, an android. And it's really cool. So it's set on this like Wayan, whatever the name of the company planet, where they're terraforming, and this woman, the main character, who I don't even remember her bloody name, which shows you how much impression it left, is terraforming. And at the beginning, she's like sitting out, and might be a dream, I think, I can't remember, under the sun, right? Because she's been busy terraforming, so she has to do like a 1,200 hours to pay off her contract or something, and she was 60 hours out for some reason. When she goes to like cash in her hours, and she wants to be given permission to leave the planet so they can go to this great planet, in 10 years away, and live free. But then because she's like 60 hours off because they did something, and they've doubled the amount of hours they need to do. So now she's got to do another 5-6 years of worth of work. Now, her parents were killed several years beforehand, apparently. And they had an android where they set him up to be her protector. And now he's like falling apart. He's brilliant. Oh, my God. He is fantastic, right? Let me see if I can find the cast. I haven't seen him in anything before. Alien Romulus. So again, I like the world building. I like it. David Johnson with 2 S's. I'm trying to pronounce how to pronounce his name. Okay, I mean, like basically he's the only one that really stood out. Nobody else in it really got my attention. Apparently her name is Rain, right? David Johnson is Andy, an android reprogrammed by Rain's father to be a surrogate brother. Yeah, but now he's kind of like falling apart and kind of retarded, right? He's like, so and she's more looking after him. So her and a bunch of friends have this again. This bit's really great, right? Have this plan. They've detected something in orbit, which might have. They need cryo tubes to be able to make it to this other planet. So they found this derelict in orbit that they're going to get the cryo tubes out of, and it turns out to be a space station, not a ship, right? And so they go up. That's the basic idea, and they need the robot to be able to interface with it to be able to open the doors, right? That's essentially the premise. And their goal is they want to escape this planet and find, somewhere nice to go. So at the very beginning of the movie, and again, I like it feels a bit Son of Kong, right? It feels a bit like shoehorned in, but it starts off with them finding the wreckage of the Nostromo, and there's a fossilized head of an alien or of the alien from that, or maybe more of his body, I wasn't sure, which they then obviously use for research. And this thing in orbit was really a research satellite that's now flying because the aliens got crazy. So they did alien stuff. So that's all there. Again, so that's the first half hour essentially. But like with more world building, better, good performances, good characters. Generally speaking, get you in there. But again, it feels like a good alien game, right? Or good alien experience. But then, right, they get there, and of course, there's aliens everywhere. That's something that was also done quite well. The introduction of the aliens, like the, you could see it coming, right? You could see it coming. They had there's like thousands of face huggers there, maybe hundreds of face huggers. I'm not sure how many. Where and you see them do something that you know is going to wake them up. And it's great, right? It's really fantastic, that build up to it. But as it goes on from there, it kind of descends into Aliens karaoke, where you have the greatest hits of Aliens. So that's why it feels like you're in a video game. And a lot of the time, it's they're very video game-like problems that they have to navigate through. Like they have an alien fight in 0G because it means all the blood's floating around. And they got to like float around the blood so they don't get killed to get out. So, again, that feels like a video game plot point rather than a story plot point. And I think that's really, I think, where the Alien franchise does its best, where it's very individualistic movies telling stories within that universe. So I think that's very true of Alien, obviously. Aliens. Again, very individually, but I think very definitive of the 80s movies, action genre. I think the same is true for Alien 3. Was it called? It was just Alien Cubed, wasn't it? That's one on the prison planet. The director's cut is way better, but you saw the suits lose their nerve with it, sadly. I still prefer the version where they're set in, when it's on this space station that's covered in wood. That version of Alien 3 where there's like a monastic cult there. But that one never got made. But yeah, again, so the first thing, the third one is it's a very dour story of crime and punishment and people within it in that universe. And I think Alien Resurrection also tried to tell a story, right? It was a story. It was a story with action beats. It wasn't a video game plot, right? It wouldn't translate to a video game plot. So then after that, what was it? I mean, I don't really include Alien versus Predator. They're normally shit. And they have Lance Hendrickson in them for no apparent reason. Especially AVP 2. That was super, super garbage. So then, what's the next thing that came out in the Alien as well? Was that Prometheus? Yeah, I like Prometheus, right? To me, Prometheus was telling a story. I wish they would do the third. Is it third or fourth, or just third and final part of that Prometheus Covenant? Covenant again. I think Covenant was the closest they came to doing a video game movie, but it really wasn't, because it's about halfway through you realize the story is about David, the first android who created the aliens. So so that works. And this feels like a very one more populist, I would say, retrograde step, and I think it loses a lot for that. Because it's lost, because it doesn't have that individual storytelling engine behind it. It becomes very disposable, right? Which, yeah, I mean, look, it was. Is it worth going to the cinema to see? It's probably a fun night out of the cinema, right? It's not terrible. Look, when I went to see Mission Impossible, whatever it was, the last one, and like I go see when I go see many movies, I feel somewhat chipped. I'm like, that wasn't that great, right? I do feel somewhat chipped. If I saw this in the cinema, which I didn't, I don't think I would have felt gypped for seeing it there. I think it would have delivered a entertaining experience, if not one to the caliber of the other Alien movies. But yeah, the problem is this with the Alien franchise. They're making too many of them. It's the same problem they got with the Star Wars franchise. The same problem with that Marvel had, but I think they're backing off from. Right? It's there's just too many. They're doing too much with it, right? I mean, at least with Terminator, nobody worked out to make a Terminator movie after James Cameron. So they keep making them, but they're just all forgettable. Yeah, okay, I would say this is the Terminator Genesis of Alien movies. There you go. I thought Terminator Genesis was. It might be a bit better than Terminator Genesis, but I thought Terminator Genesis was actually quite good, right? Funny story though. Fred Alvarez, whose movie this is, look, he seems like a genuine director. Storyteller, but again, look, we need writers essentially to be able to tell stories, right? You need readers to be able to get writers, which is the problem. So this is funny. Apparently, Fred, what's his name again? Let me see. Fred Alvarez, right? Fred Alvarez is permanently banned from this Alien track group. Hi. So, hello, you've been permanently banned from participating in the RLV 426 because your comment violates the community rules. You won't be able to post a comment, but you can still view and subscribe to it. Note from moderators, impersonation. And this is literally the director. So, no, it's me, right? It's genuinely me. So, I don't know. Do I have more hope for this Alien TV show that Noah Hawley's doing? Let's have a look at this article about it. Because, look, Noah Hawley is a storyteller, right? I think he's a very good storyteller. I think Fargo was excellent. I think Legion was excellent, right? Generally speaking, I think he's got a very strong pedigree. Yeah, let's have a look at what he's done. Noah Hawley. Yeah, again, he was up for doing what's it called again? A Star Trek movie, but that one of the many iterations of that never came out. Lucy in the Sky, I never saw that, but that looked quite good. Although it looked terrible at the same time. This is a Scarlett Johansson movie. So he broke his teeth on Bones. The Unusuals I don't know about. 3 episodes also. My generation never heard of Fargo. Right? He's done 48 episodes. They're basically all very good. Right? Fargo and Legion, excellent. So now he's working on Alien Earth. So what's that going to be about? Noah Hawley Fargo offered an update to how things are going with FX. Oh, 1 second. I forgot. I'm still reviewing the Alien movie. One thing I want to go back to before we move on from that is this. Okay, the 2 biggest flaws of this movie, right? And it was, again, solid movie, which I genuinely like, right? The 2 biggest flaws of this movie was, one, they had on this derelict space station, they had a synthetic, an android in it, and they face swapped it to look like In Home. It was the android in the first Alien movie. Totally pointless, and actually detracted quite a lot from the story. It detracted a lot from what was going on. Because the face swapping didn't look very good. Like the face swapping I do look better. And again, it was just member bearers for member bearers' sake. It did reference what's it called? It did reference all the other movies. It referenced the Black Goo in Covenant and Prometheus, I just say reference. Pretty much, there's touchstones in pretty much every movie. So, but there's at one point in it where they do where they try and introduce a new type of alien, and it epically didn't work. Right? It just epically didn't work. But like, I can't be down at that much for it because at least it's attempting to be original at that point. So, but yeah, and it just epically didn't work. I don't know what to tell you. I wish it did, right? I wish it did. Let's look at this Alien Earth show. So, okay, when we last checked in on how things are going with Noah Hawley's upcoming Alien TV series, FX boss John Landgraf. Now, this is the third show he's done for FX, right? And again, I think that's a really good home for him. Because, his shows just kind of work on that, right? They really, really do. That the network, where went with him? John Landgraf was sharing some promising long-term hopes that the network had, and revealed the title was titled Alien Earth. I think that's a bit of a naff title, quite frankly. All right, and I'm more intrigued to see where it fits in the Alien timeline. Right, I kind of liked an Alien Resurrection. It was a few hundred years later. Where am I up to? So, now getting an update directly from Hawley, courtesy of an interview in this one's Hollywood Reporter magazines, echoing Landgraf's comment about last month. Hawley noticed that if the series is a success, it could be 10 years of his life. So it's like, they're kind of going for a Game of Thronesy type thing. As for how things look in terms of Alien Earth hitting FX screens in 2025, I hope they don't use the volume wall, right? I had this revelation there when I was walking the dog. You know that like big video wall thing they use that's the latest technology where they're already into it. I don't think it works very well, frankly, right? I think it works quite poorly. Yeah, I've seen it always looks to me like they're in a studio. Right, it works for a little bit of time. Like there's you know where it would work if you want to do a Judge Dredd TV show, right? That's where it would work. But you just feel like you're in studio with it, right? Even that Doctor Who episode where it's supposed to be outdoors, it didn't feel outdoors. It felt like it was all in studio. I don't know why, right? Because it should work, but I mean, like when you do it on green screen, it works better. I don't know why. So, echoing Landgraf's comments last month, Hawley noted that the series, if it could be 10 years of his life, and hit in 2025, shared that they're in the midst of some post-production work. We just wrapped. I'm in post editing away. Obviously, there's a large visual effects component that takes time. That said, Hawley makes it clear that he likes what he sees. Well, again, look, I think he's got a strong track record. Right, I think this could well be better than Alien Romulus. And he believes fans of the franchise will feel the same way. Okay, I couldn't be happy with the show that we shot. If people wanted a television series based in the world of Alien, I think we're going to give them something special, Hawley added. Well, me too. I bet we don't have to see an alien turn up till episode 9. Check with Deadline. What was it? No Hollywood on FX reaction and Ridley Scott involvement. Checking with Deadline Hollywood for its Crew Call podcast in June. Hawley had some additional details to pass on. First up, he noted the higher-ups at FX Network have made it clear to keep his focus solely on Alien. And if they're talking season 2, then it sounds like they like what they're seeing. That's good. The FX Networks are saying maybe don't do 2 things at once on this show. Their hope is to put the season 2 as close to season 1 as possible. Okay. Is that a year apart? As for Scott's involvement, Hawley confirmed that it never went beyond an early conversation while Hawley was mapping out his plans. In the 4 years it's taken me to launch the show, he's made how many movies? Hawley added. But it was due... how many movies has he made? So, let's have a look. He did Napoleon. I remember that. Ridley Scott. Let's see what his filmography was like for the last few years. Gladiator 2. Man, I'm really not looking forward to that. Go on, filmography. Where is it? There we go. So he made... Is this TV or is it... No, this is filmography. The Last Duel. I don't remember that at all. That was him? That was directed by Ridley Scott? Really? Okay. Hauchiguchi? I don't remember that either. Was that on a streaming service? I don't remember that. Napoleon, I remember. So he's made how many? He's made four movies in the same time it took Hawley to make this TV show. Well, listen, what can you do? All he added that it was during the conversation that Hawley decided which direction to go in. What I said to Ridley is, I'm adapting your movie. I had to make a decision. Retrofuturism or Prometheus, and I chose retrofuturism, which that's so much in the alien DNA. He explained that when I close my eyes and you say alien to me, I see green ASCII text. Yeah, me too. I agree with you, actually. You know, I hear that sound. I like, whole mother switching on. And again, tons of that in Alien Romulus. I see the keyboard with weird Egyptian runes on it. I see those hallways. Right, Alien are typically not discussing upcoming FX series. In Vanity Fair, Oliver took a quick break in filming in Thailand. The actor had nothing but praise for Hawley. What Hawley brings to project. So I don't know if you're familiar, but he's very good at what he does. Very good. He is very good. He's a genuine storyteller. And you really don't get that often. Look, if you haven't seen any of the seasons of Fargo, they're mostly good, right? They're mostly excellent. You don't really have to have seen the Coen Brothers Fargo movie, right? I only saw the first couple of episodes of Chris Rock season, but normally again they're really solid, interesting stories with really solid, interesting characters. I like the one where Ewan McGregor played a dual role. That was really good. Hawley didn't try and land Oliphant for the series a few years back. The actor explains, don't tell Noah this, but if my kids are still living at home, I don't think I would have done the job. Oliphant revealed that, noting that Alien came at a point when his life was easier on a number of levels to travel for filming than it used to be. Justified, Deadwood, Santa Clara Diet, those things kept me here for a good stretch. But when my children were somewhere between the 6th grade and all the way through leaving the house, I essentially got work and I lived here. Fine, okay, so he didn't want to travel. That's basically what Billy Piper says about returning to Doctor Who. Don't return, Billy. Oliphant continued. Once they all okay, we're still saying the same thing. So the last part was response. So what are they going to say? Full circle, we lived in New York for a few months and now we're living in Bangkok. It's been a ball. Must be fun to live in like a different city, different culture for a few months, wealthily. It really must be a fun to do that, right? There's a monster in the epic series that takes up a lot of screen time. Well, I hope that's the alien. Doesn't sound like it is the alien, does it? But I hope it is. They gave us the opportunity to check out the beaches at Bangkok and even got to see his buddy Walton Goggins. I like Walton Goggins down there filming White Lotus. Looks like wherever the big bad is, we're going to see a lot of it, right? Okay. So look, lots going on in the world of aliens. Are they going to get over like what they fucked over Star Wars? I mean, look, Disney do not have a strong track record with pretty much everything, right? My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.